RYOBI's got an upgrade that you may need to step up to. RYOBI has stepped up their battery game. So not only do we have the regular 4 amp hour battery, we also have a high performance 4 amp hour battery, and now we have the high performance Edge 4 amp hour battery. What is different about this? Well, basically it's using 21700 cells with tabless technology. Now RYOBI sent us a little care package. Let's take a look what's in the link box in here. So it looks like we have some shadow foam, and we've got a 6.5 inch circular saw. Looks like we got a 2-inch Milwaukee bit, a RYOBI 1+ HP drill, and a couple of batteries. So this is RYOBI's new high performance Edge batteries. These are made with the 21700 tabless cells. And what does that mean? Well, basically they can pull more power out of these. You can charge them faster. They stay cooler. So there's a lot of benefits. Mainly, you're going to see more power, and let's hope that we can prove that. And actually, they also included a regular 4 amp hour battery so we can compare against. Kind of like these tests when manufacturers kind of think of everything and they're not scared to compare things against themselves. So we have the Edge battery next to the regular 4 amp hour, and one thing you'll notice, it's pretty much the same size. In fact, the Edge is a little bit shorter. I think the footprint's a little bit wider, but not by much. But it does have the larger 21700 cells, and they're the tabless cells, so again, more power that we can pull out of these. Now let's see. So what we're going to do first is take our 1+ HP 6.25 inch or 6.5 inch saw. We're going to throw in the regular 4 amp hour battery. I'm going to set our depth. That should do it. And we're going to make some rip cuts in basically 2 pieces of 3/4 inch OSB. So this would be any type of sheeting you'd typically see on homes, and ripping through 2 sheets of this is a pretty good test, and see kind of how fast we can go and how hard we can push the Edge, how hard we can push the regular battery as well, but also kind of see a time differentiation. Okay, so we've got our regular battery in there. I'm going to do a little safety check here, or maybe a little safety addendum. Little duct tape on the finger. I don't like wearing gloves when using a saw, but this will help with my rip. And here goes. I do have a full battery. Let's give it another rip here. Okay, I'm going to take it extra slow this time, see if I can get through a rip without it stopping. There we go. So I had to take my time a little bit, but we got through it. All right, all we're going to do Take out our regular 4 amp hour, throw in our new high performance edge. And let's see if we got a difference. I would say that's a pretty drastic difference. And let's do one more. All right, one more rip. Okay, so after 3 rips apiece, looks like we're down to 3 bars there and down to 3 bars on that as well. So as far as the fuel tank, they're both 4 amp hours. That's typically about right, but tons more power in the edge. We could rip that, we could put pressure on it and actually get a great rip cut on this, whereas the regular 4 amp hour really had to take our time to get it to do a complete pass without it cutting out. Okay, now up, we're gonna take our HP drill with the regular battery, and we're gonna leave, we're not gonna charge it. So with 3 cells left on it, we're gonna try to drill in speed 1, and it shouldn't have any problem doing that. And then we're gonna switch over to the edge, do it in speed 1, and then see if we can go in speed 2 with the regular 4 amp hour, and then the same with the edge battery. And then speed 2, let's go to speed 1. Okay, speed 1. Let's lock down our clutch. It would help if we put our center punch in, or our center pin, our center bit. Okay, and it should be self-feeding, so it shouldn't walk all over the place like it just did. Here we go. Okay, let's do one more. All right, let's switch out to the edge. I don't anticipate it being any faster, maybe a little bit. Okay, maybe a touch faster, but let's go now back to the regular battery. And now we'll shift to speed 2. Okay. And by the way, this is a self-feed bit. I'm not putting pressure on it. I'm letting it pull it in itself. Okay. So we're not getting too far at all in speed 2. I would say that's not even a 1/4 inch. Edge battery, same thing, speed 2. Let's go forward. Okay, no luck with the edge either. Well, I anticipated seeing a change with the edge battery, it being able to either go through it or at least go further, but it's really kind of automatically stopping as soon as we hit. Okay, now our final test, we're going to take our impact wrench, which this is the model number PBL IW01, and it's the RYOBI high torque impact wrench, the 1+ HP. We're gonna use our regular 4 amp hour battery. We're gonna make sure we are in speed 3. There we go. That's in top speed. Make sure we're in reverse. Now we have each one of these nuts torqued to 500 foot-pounds. We're gonna break all 3 free and then compare it to the speed with the 4 amp hour Edge battery. So let's go with the regular 4 amp hour. That's pretty quick. Okay, we'll take off our regular battery, put on our high performance Edge. And here we go. Much quicker with the Edge battery. Okay, let's look at the performance of this. There's definitely a step up in performance. When we use the saw cutting through 2 sheets of 3/4 inch OSB, it was a drastic difference. I believe actually getting the saw to cut with the regular 4 amp hour battery all the way through, I believe it was like 27 seconds. And then using the Edge battery, we could push it pretty hard. In fact, I really didn't push it as hard as I could, and I believe we ripped through that in 15 seconds. So you're talking about a drop in 12 seconds across that 27-second margin. So that's a drastic difference. And again, just the feel of being able to push that saw through, you can tell a drastic difference in the battery. Now, stepping into the drill and using the 2-inch self-feed bit, we didn't get to see the difference in like Speed 2. I was hoping that in Speed 2 it would be able to go all the way through that. If you look at a lot of drills on the market, most of them can't accomplish that anyway, regardless of what battery they're using. That's a lot of torque to actually feed that bit through with a self-feed bit in Speed 2 or in high speed. So the fact that it couldn't do it, I wasn't too surprised about it. At the same time, I was kind of hoping that it would. But in Speed 1, there was, I think, like a second difference. I think it ripped through it in Speed 1 with the regular 4 amp hour in like 5 seconds or like 6 seconds. And then with the Edge battery, it was like 5 seconds. I will tell you that seat of the pants or feel of the hand, you can tell a difference in the power just in the drill using the Edge battery. But then again, stepping up to the impact wrench and actually using that, again, drastic difference just as soon as you pull the trigger. In fact, you saw it took like, I don't know, 13, 14 seconds to go through all 3 of the nuts that were torqued to 500 foot-pounds, and then using the HP Edge battery, I think it was like 5 or 6 seconds. So drastic difference. And the reason is, again, it's hitting right out of the gate. So where does this battery actually fit? Well, it's going to fit best in your power-hungry tools. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, your saws, things that are literally needing the power to rip through stuff. What it's not going to be that effective on is, say, a light or maybe even a fan, something that's kind of a low energy draw, and regardless of what battery you have in it, it's going to draw that same amount. It's going to do an absolute fine job. It's really not worth your money stepping up to that to see that, because 4 amp hours is 4 amp hours per se, if you will. On a low power tool, doesn't matter the size of the tank, which is your amp hour rating, that's going to remain the same. So you're not going to see a difference. Now, long term, as far as how many charges it will take, things like that, yes, you may see a difference, because not only does the technology bring you more power output, but it's also running cooler as well as charging cooler. That's another thing. I'm expecting RYOBI to step up with another charger. They have not told us that at all, but I'm just expecting, seeing Milwaukee do that, I think maybe we'll see another step in charging capability with a new RYOBI charger that will be able to charge these Edge batteries even quicker, because the cells can take it. It's going to stay cooler while it's being charged. So not only are you getting that power output, but you're also being able to put more charge in faster without it overheating and the ability for it to stay cool. Pricing on this, you're looking at $129 for the 4 amp hour battery. Yeah, that's a pretty big step up. So, do you need it? Do you want it? Well, again, if you've got big impact wrenches, big saws you're wanting to run, or big drills you're wanting to, maybe you're drilling lots of holes in steel or concrete, it would be worth it to step up to a battery like this because you're definitely going to get more power output. Now let's talk back about runtime when I said it really doesn't make a difference. When you are pushing these tools really hard, that's where the runtime will change because it's got the power to output faster. In other words, be able to put more power out at a shorter length of time, so that's going to extend your runtime versus having to, take 27 seconds to rip through that wood. It's only taking you, 12, 13, 14 seconds to rip through that wood. So therefore, you're going to get a longer runtime, more cuts out of the day than you would with the lesser regular 4 amp hour battery. So there's my synopsis on this. 129 bucks. Is it worth it? Yes, if you need it. If you don't need it, again, you're running, lights and fans all day long. Probably not worth the money. Stick with your regular 4 amp hour battery or whatever size battery you like in the RYOBI. The cool thing about this, again, it's sticking to the OnePlus platform. So this battery will work in every single OnePlus 18-volt tool that RYOBI has pretty much ever made, and vice versa. So that's one great thing about the new battery is it's still cross-compatible across all those tools. Hey, be sure to check it out. Also, keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, as well as TikTok. And hey, if you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And by all means, if you hated our video, well, give us a thumbs down. But would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day. Keep smiling.